Hello and welcome to Miniatures Rundown. I'm Mitchell.
And I'm Coty.
And today we have the new releases for the 14th?
15th.
15th. Tomorrow. It is the 14th. We have the new book for Soulblight Gravelords and the new book for Ossiarch Bonereapers and some smattering of stuff that comes with that.
2 more tomes, 2 more heroes, and a little bit of everything else.
To get started, we're going to do the books because we're not going to open them up. We might do an in-depth later, but not right now.
Yeah, I took some clip notes of how they changed, if we want to go over those.
All right. First we have Soulblight Battletome. Sorry, I took that from Jay. Soulblight Gravelords. These were a bit of a surprise because they were the last tome of last edition. So there's like 5 more that are getting updated after they should. So I play this faction, so I will be doing an in-depth on this at some point in the future.
Cool.
You said you have some cliff notes.
Yeah, just some new abilities. Vampire heroes get the hunger, which they heal wounds up to 6, like wounds that they dish out to enemies, they can heal. Maddening hunger, which is their monster abilities. You roll D3, and D3 enemies that are within 1 inch of you, you roll for each of those, and if you roll higher than their wounds characteristic, they're dead.
Nice.
They're just dead. And then vamp heroes can also deny wards if they do some weird, funky stuff.
Okay.
Wounds and mortal wounds. So
the big one I saw, so they used to have a thing where depending on which heroes you took, you could heal a number of summonable units. Now it is you just always heal 3 on, I believe it's 3 different units. And then you can reanimate units depending on what you have dead. And for the first time, you can reanimate heroes because the, what are they called? The Wight Kings can be reanimated.
Oh, okay.
So that's new. Yeah, I'm looking forward to cracking this open and finding out all about it.
I had to read their little shambly, just like regular foot infantry lost their 6-inch pile-in.
Yeah, which is fine. 6-inch pile-in's stupid.
Yeah, especially for like undead, mindless zombies.
Yeah, it totally makes sense that the well-known to be very slow models pile in faster than other models.
They're suddenly fast after they've smacked somebody.
Yeah. All right, next on to Ossiarch Bonereapers, OBRs. I don't know a whole lot about this faction other than they were broken for a little while. Gosh.
Yeah, I don't know much about the old ones. I'm just reading from what I've read.
Go for it.
They have 6-up wards on all of their units, I believe.
Okay. The vampires have that too. I think it's all undead has that.
Oh, okay.
Except for flesh shooter cords because they haven't been updated yet.
Oh, I see. They have new weapons that have exploding 6s.
Nice.
Just a bunch of new narrative play stuff, apparently. And then you also get bonus command points. Depending on how many units you have in your army, you get 1 extra command point in the start if you have 3 or more units, 2 extra if you have 5 or more units, and 3 extra if you have 7 or more units.
At the start of each round?
No, at the start of the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So round 1 is very good.
Yes.
Got it.
You could get up to 3 depending on how you play your army.
Nice.
And then they have a plus ward, plus 1 to ward in their command point, and then also a fallback and charge. Those are the biggest differences.
Okay, so more like a Roman Legion like army, rather than like a shambling horde of skeletons and zombies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like the differences there because they kind of have to be different, or else why are they 2 different factions?
Right.
Okay, I like that.
Yep.
Next, we will do the Vanguards.
Yep.
First, for the Soulblight Gravelords, we have a Vampire Lord, a unit of Vargheists, a unit of 20 Death Rattle Skeletons, and Blood Knights. Everything in here is great, except maybe the Vargheists. Vampire Lords are fantastic because they're combat-y, spellcasty guys. The Blood Knights are they got a little bit worse from what I heard, but they were kind of like the only thing you ever took. So I can understand that.
Yeah.
And skeletons are skeletons. Who doesn't love skeletons?
Right. I'll be honest, the more I look at this box, the more I want it.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. It's a really cool box. I like it, especially compared to the previous one, which was, well, I mean, that one had Graveguard in it. Graveguard's really good. But yeah, everything in this box is great. Legion of Night especially actually really wants this because the Vargeists are battle line. So they're like troops, so you can use them and drop them in and stuff. Great selection. And cool. Especially since the Blood Knights are like half the value of this box, and then you have a unit of skeletons, and it's a pretty good deal. All right, next we have the Ossiarch Bonereapers Vanguard. It has a Gothizzar Harvester, unit of Mortek Guard. I think that's actually 2 units of Mortek Guard, because I think they come in units of 10. Not the Ossifector. The Ossifector's the new guy.
Yeah, that's the new one.
Mortisan Soul Reaper, and Cavalos Death Riders. So that, again, I don't know much about it, but man, these models look really cool. I really like the Gothizzar Harvester. I like the big chunky ones for some reason.
Yeah, I like some of their bigger units. They're little foot units. They're a little goofy to me, like the little knobs on their heads.
Oh yeah,
they're just kind of silly. I like the other skeletons better.
They're supposed to be like cobbled together rather than being, again, like a resurrected human. They are like cobbled together from bones.
Right. Yeah.
Period.
Like built.
Yeah.
Undead things.
So again, really great box, fantastic looking models. It's a back and forth because I wish this had the new guy in it, but if it had the new guy in it, he wouldn't be available by himself.
Yeah, like the White King, which we'll go to in a second, was only available in the Start Collecting, I'm pretty sure, for a while.
Yeah, until now.
Until now, okay.
So he's been in the Start Collecting, which came out with the last book, which was 3 years ago? 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yay. Speaking of, we will get to the new models. First, nothing too special. He was, like you just mentioned, he was in the Start Collecting, the White King on Skeletal Steed. As I mentioned, they are now resurrectable. So if he dies, you can roll a dice, and I think it's on a 3-up, he stands back up and can keep on fighting. He gives a bonus to your Black Knights, the Skeletal, the mounted guys, because all of the steeds now have a mortal wound when they charge, or sets of mortal wounds when they charge, and he gives a bonus to that roll. So, and he also makes Graveguard Battle Line, so you can run him as your general and get Graveguard Battle Line.
Oh wow.
So this guy is pretty good. He's pretty fast. He's decently durable, and he stands back up even when he dies. I like him. Yeah. I'm probably gonna pick one of these up. I have a one I found on Etsy that looks pretty good, but it's on the wrong base size, so I'm just like, eh.
Oh, I see.
So I'm just probably gonna pick this one up. He looks very cool.
Yeah, all of their skeletons are kind of reason why I want to pick up the army.
Skeletons are so cool.
They look so cool. Like the vampires, like, don't get me wrong, the vampires are pretty cool, but like, as we'll see with this next unit that's coming up, they have very silly hats sometimes.
They kind of focus on the Russian aspect. Yeah. Ivya Volga.
Yeah.
And Belladama Volga.
Yeah, and she's a really cool model too. If I do pick up this army and I do pick her up eventually, that hat's getting shaved off. 100%.
Yeah. Have you seen Belladama? She has
hers is worse.
A cloak that's like going all the way up, and then a hat that goes even higher.
Yeah, and I think she's got like 2 like furry. Just.
She has the very totally not Russian collar.
Yeah, she's extra.
Yeah. So we saw some previews of this one on Warhammer Community, which is she good at fight monster. If there's a monster within 3 of her, she counts as 10 models on an objective.
Yeah, I saw that.
And their attacks characteristic in melee become 1. So she wants to get to a monster and basically, like, I don't know, do a little dance and distract it. Maybe they look at the wolfy legs and they're like, I don't know what to do anymore.
Maybe they're distracted by the hat. It's like one of those things where in the wild you make yourself look bigger to scare off animals.
And they're like, oh my god.
That's what she does.
But it is exactly what I feared. Other than that, because that is the cool ability she has. It is exactly what I feared. Is she is a named character that is all about punching stuff in combat, and they already have like 6 of those. In this sub faction, they have 5 of them.
Yeah, I remember you calling that out at Adepticon when she was announced.
Yeah, I was like, sure. The model's cool.
Yeah.
I won't be picking this one up, though.
No.
Not really a fan. And I don't mind the vampires, but man, I just like skeletons more.
Yeah.
You want to do the other model?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot he was over here.
This is the one that I mistook. The Mortisan Ossifector. Ossifector. I have not looked at his rules yet, but they kept touting about he's the creator of the big monsters. So like the Gothazar Harvester and the guys with the like 4 heads that all face in opposite directions. It reminds me of, have you seen Adventure Time?
Yes.
Yeah, the god Glob. I don't remember his name.
I don't either.
It's like 4 names lined up in a row, but it's literally like a head that just has 4 faces all facing opposites. It reminds me of that every time.
There's also a boss in World of Warcraft that it reminds me of. It's the same exact thing. It's just a weird construct thing that has 4 faces.
See, I've played WoW and I don't remember that.
It was Black Temple.
That would be why I don't remember that. That was pre my time. So, yep, the Mortisan Ossifector. He has the tiny little spindly bits that all these bone guys have, all the new Ossiarchs have. He looks really cool. I might use him as a conversion. He has like he has like ribs coming off of the top of his head.
Yeah, that's kind of why this army throws me off. It's just, I don't know. It's too unskeleton-like.
Yeah, it's not terribly skeleton. But they are interesting enough. They're unique.
Yeah, they're goofy looking. I don't mind them too much.
We might be doing something on this because I know Kevin, who did our Quadrant Overlords review, also plays. Well, he plays every undead faction.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I only found that out recently. He plays dwarves and undead, and those are the 2 things, and Nurgle.
That makes
and
sense.
those are the things that he likes.
He does play Death Guard in 40K as well. So.
So he might be doing something on this if we can get him back on to see like the benefits of the old one compared to the new one. But no promises on that. He's a third party. We can't promise we can get him.
Yeah,
we gotta pay him big
his
bucks.
mind by putting "We want more Kevin" in the comments.
Yeah.
And then we'll show him them, and then
we need thumbs ups and subscribes, and then Kevin comments.
Yes, more Kevin.
More Kevin. Next we'll do the dice. Speaking of Ossiarch Bonereapers. Speaking of Quadrant Overlords.
Yeah, more Kevin stuff.
More Kevin stuff. We have the Soulblight dice, which Josh and I mentioned are kind of cool. They're very readable, but they're just black with red pips. They're fine.
Yeah, and it's like just a red dragon.
Yeah, it's a dragon, which is whatever. That's probably a callback to Old Hammer, where like all of their shields and stuff had dragons on them.
Yeah, I mean they still have a lot of dragon iconography on them as far as what I've seen, but
so it's weird that it's Quadrant Overlords dice, which I really don't like these.
I'm sorry, Kevin, I don't like them either.
I'm not a fan, and
they're readable.
They are, but man,
they look terrible.
That color, they're just black pips. They have this little weird mechanical face. Yeah, he looks it's like one eye is dilated, it looks like, and oh my god.
Like I get what they were going for with it.
I'm not even sure I get what they're going for.
Like it's supposed to be like their steampunky masks and stuff like that, but like
not a fan.
It looks goofy.
Yeah, it does. And it's weird that it's because Overlords already came out.
Yeah.
And they're just getting their dice, but
Soublight still playing some catch up.
Yeah, and
there's also no Bonereapers dice.
I'm gonna call the Bonereapers dice. They're gonna be ivory colored with black pips. Because bone.
You're probably right.
Come at me. Not the Soulblight ones are fine. The Quadrant ones are bad.
Yeah, and I'm saying that as a dwarf.
A dwarf lover. And I do hate dwarves, so there's that. Yeah. And last, but not least, push the pile over. We have 4. Oh, we'll put it like this so we can actually like get the non-reflection. 4 of the Warscroll cards. We have the new releases, so Soublight and Ossiarch Bonereapers, and some previous releases with Hedonites and Quadrant Overlords, which is weird because Quadrant Overlords came out a while ago. Yeah. Blades of Corn came out the week of, and then Hedonites is here. It's like
I remember making a slight at the Slaanesh for not having cards, and here they are weeks later.
Yeah, cards are great if that's what you want. They're a little expensive for my taste because they're literally just like printed pieces of
Yeah, I mean,
cardstock.
it saves you some time flipping through your books
Yeah.
that you still need on top of these anyway.
Yeah.
So.
And I feel like Sigmar does Warscroll erratas less. They'll do like your faction gets blah, but like changing a Warscroll is much more rare in Sigmar. So I feel like that's the reason that these are in Sigmar and not in 40k yet. But yeah, these are great if you want them. You can pass on them if you don't really want them. They're just a good resource, an extra thing on top of.
Yep.
It's like command dice. Like you don't need them, but it's nice if you want them. And that's it for this week.
That is it for this week.
So we got 2 more death factions coming out this week, and hopefully we'll do a review on those soon. And we don't have very many books left in Sigmar.
No,
we have Seraphon. Flesh Eater Courts has not come out yet. That's going to be one of the mystery ones that they showed off at Adepticon.
And then Cities of Sigmar, which is no longer Cities of Sigmar from the way
it's weird because they're like, it's Dawnbringer Crusades. And we're like, cool, it's Dawnbringer Crusades. And then at Adepticon, they're like, the Cities of Sigmar book comes out in summer. And we're like, what?
Yeah. So.
And then, so it was Seraphon, Flesh Eater Courts, Dawnbringer Crusades, and then a mystery book that we still have no idea what it is because after that, all the books are updated.
Yeah, I mean, somebody did point out in the comments, and I don't know enough about Sigmar to know, but they never said that it was a tome.
That's true. They could start
Arcs of Omen.
They could start Arcs of Omening it and do some new way to play with the meat trees from Warcry. I don't know.
They gotta sell those meat trees. Man. They gotta get rid of them.
I really don't like the meat trees. They're difficult to put together. They fall over all the time. Not a fan.
They look weird.
And they do look weird because they're meat trees.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're interested in any of this cool stuff, let us know in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Mitchell.
And I'm Coty.
Bye.
Bye.